Next graduate being honored today will share her testimony, Sarah Myrie.
What was going on before you made the step to come into Teen Challenge?
Yeah, so like you said, I was involved in full-time ministry before coming into Teen Challenge, and prior to my involvement in ministry, I had, battled with drug addictions from the time I was 11 until the time I was 26. And in this time, my drug addiction really took off when my father passed away, and then within 2 years, my mother passed away. And so that was my time where I was using drugs to cope and not feel. And I didn't feel for a long time. But I had a praying grandmother who was interceding for me. And when I hit rock bottom, she came out to Sacramento, where I was living, homeless, didn't have anything. And she came out and brought me to Havasu. And it was in that time that I knew God was doing something in my life. And I experienced his love, and I realized that, he does love me and he has something for me. And so as I began to volunteer at the radio ministry, they took a chance. They invested in me, poured into me, and I got really involved. But I still had a lot of hurts and a lot of pains that I didn't know how to wrestle through. I didn't know how to deal with. And so over the course of 5 years, a lot took place, and I was just living a life that I knew was compromising what I knew I believed, whether it was in a relationship or just not doing what I knew a Christian, or my idea of a Christian, was supposed to be leading the kind of life. And I had so much hurt, and so I went back to what I knew, and that was to mask it with anxiety medication. And so it was January of 2017 I began to take Xanax. And then 4 months and a bad breakup in a relationship, I found myself back into the hardcore drugs of heroin and meth, and not being able to function, not being able to make it to work. And my coworkers, who know me so well, they began to sense that there was something really wrong. And so their persistence, they would literally knock on my door. If I didn't show up to work, they were there asking me what's going on, what's wrong. And they weren't pushy to the sense until I admitted I had a problem. And it was in that time when they suggested Teen Challenge. And I just want to just thank Farron and Debbie, who are here today. I just want to honor you guys, because if it weren't for you, I don't know where I would be today. And, in this time of trial, they just stepped up, and they've both taken the role as my parents. And so now I see them as mom and dad. And God has brought so much healing just through our relationship and how they've poured into me and invested in me. So I went to Teen Challenge, and I'll tell you, it wasn't easy. And I had to face a lot of the issues that were in my heart, and a lot of the pain that was there. And it was about 9 months in to my program at Teen Challenge, I was debating on leaving, and I just felt the weight of everything just kind of coming to a head, and I felt pressure from all sides, and God just spoke to me, and he just made himself so very real, and he just basically showed me that I was walking in rebellion, and I really needed to just lay it down. And it's a whole long story, but I will say that, it was in that moment of struggle that I surrendered, and I made a commitment, and I said, okay, God, I want your will for my life. And, I'm done, playing this compromise game of walking the fence and trying to live for my own desires. Like, I really want to pursue what you have for me, and that's it.
Isn't that beautiful? By the way, Debbie and Farron, thank you for all you've done for this beautiful lady. Thank you. God bless you. We love you and appreciate all that you've done for her. And for her to think of you as parents just warms my heart as well. I mentioned at the outset, I saw this zeal in this young lady's life. early on when Liddell and I first met her. So here's the rest of the story. She's already enrolled and attending the Teen Challenge Ministry Institute over in Southern California, preparing for full-time ministry. Yeah, we're so proud of you. We love you.